Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Unlocking You 2.0. Thank you for joining. I'm Spencer, your emotion and body code practitioner, and we have Balwinder Marwaha, your transformational leadership coach, coming together for this Unlocking You 2.0 as part of the Inside Out Institute. So, today we're talking about how can we forgive ourselves and move on? Because let's face it, there's lots of stuff in the past that might be kind of holding on and gripping onto us as we're trying to move forward in our lives. And we're just going to take today, we're going to talk about some of this stuff and what we can do to move on from that. So, Balwinder, I'm going to pass this right over to you and take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Spencer. Look, right off the bat, history cannot be changed.
Oh, no.
You cannot change.
We seem to be losing you, Bally. How's your is the internet all weird?
Can you hear me still and see me, Spencer? My
I
screen
can
went
now.
blank. I'm not sure
Yes.
what happened there.
Maybe it like switched off the Wi-Fi or something. Let's move on and forgive ourselves. uh,
It seems like we're frozen. Okay, I'm back. Uh,
Sweet.
could you hear me and see me or no?
I can now. You cut out for
Okay.
quite a while there, so don't worry about it.
All right. Okay, let's go back. Okay. What I was saying is you cannot change history. You can't go back and be like, hey, World War II didn't happen. It happened very much so. These are the dates that happened. And these are all the people that unfortunately lost all their lives. You cannot change that.
Mm.
So just like whatever has happened in your life in the past, it cannot be changed. It cannot be rewritten. It is what it is. What can be changed is you yourself. I can change myself. And in fact, I am who I am today because of my past. And so we often hold on to our past because we're like, oh my God, this happened to me in my life. And because of this, I can't do this. Or, I can't move forward because of this. And there's some serious things that have happened to people. People have been uh, abused or assaulted. People have lost loved ones. Maybe you've had a tragedy. Maybe you've lost a job. Whatever it may be, the reality is that cannot be changed. What can be changed is your perception of that event and who you are today. And that's what I really want you to focus on as you go through life, and take these occurrences, these events, these tragedies as stepping stones. Imagine World War II happened and we never learned from it. We never took anything from it. We never became better as a society because of it. Well, unfortunately, a lot of people did a lot of fighting for no good reason, which to an extent is true when it comes to war. But the reality is that we've learned from that. And who we are today as a society and what we've become is because of that. And there's things going on all around the world right now, which are unfortunate events and tragedies. Part of them having to happen is how we as a world will become better.
Mm.
And part of our life, we become better. So I want you to change your mindset around your past. And really, if you're watching this and you've got issues with your past, I want you to write down the 3 biggest issues you have with your past. And now what I want you to do is about each one of those issues is I want you to think about how you can turn that into a stepping stone rather than, oh my God, this is like my past is holding me down. I can't, like, what did you learn from that? How has that shaped you into who you are today? And how has it made you better? Because let me tell you, you could have had the worst divorce of your life. You could have had an abusive husband or a abusive wife, or it could have been absolutely terrible. And you might be holding on to that like, oh my God, this sucks. My life is awful now. I've been abused. I've been through this terrible relationship. But the reality is you can't change that. Now, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of damage that came with that, which Spencer's going to talk about in a moment, but you cannot change the fact that you went through that tragedy. What you can change, though, is how you perceive it and how you move on from there. And so if you take this divorce example, you now know what to look for when it comes to your partner going forward, if you choose to go down that route. You now know what's right and what's not right. You now are stronger because you survived that and you've been through that. So if you went through that, imagine what else you can go through. Not saying you should go through, you can go through. So don't be a hostage or prisoner to your past. You cannot change it. You cannot alter it. It's think of film. Way back, you took a picture and it was ingrained into the negative. Those negatives can't be changed. You can develop that picture from the negative as much as you want, as long as you preserve that negative. But you're going to get the same picture over and over and over again. But if you let go of that negative, or that negative is no longer there, that picture cannot be reproduced. So with that said, consciously, that's what's going on. That's what we do. It's don't think that I'm telling you this and I'm not one of those people myself. I've done it myself.
Mm.
I've lived in my past for a very long time. I just don't want you making that same mistake. Spencer, on the subconscious side, what happens? What causes us to stay in our past? Or, what is it that really doesn't let us move on?
Absolutely, and thank you so much for that, because it is true. And obviously, you being a coach, me being a practitioner, we've seen a lot of people that have some pretty serious stuff, right? Like they have
Mhm.
some very traumatic events in their life, and that can create a lot of different things, especially if they're compounded over your whole lifetime, right? If it's something that's happened, in your first 5 years of your life or something, like it
Mhm.
doesn't matter when it happened, but these events can be having such a profound and incredible effect on your entire life, you just don't even know.
Yeah.
But with these particular events, this is actually something Emmanuel Zavaios talked about a little bit today on our call, and this is kind of a way that we can approach this session. So let's just say, take your advice, where we write down the three major things that we have wrong in our life today, right?
Mhm.
If we take those things, or maybe if we can lead them to specific events, we can actually ask the question in the body code or the emotion code, whatever. We can just ask your body via muscle testing. We can ask, how much peace do I have with this event? And we can
Mhm.
actually get to the nitty gritty, and we can ask your body questions. How much do I have? Oh, look, this last event where, I had this horrible, outrageously, like terrible breakup or divorce. Oh, I have 5%, a 5% peace with that. Sweet. So now we can ask, are there any imbalances that are preventing me from having 100% peace with this event or this
Mhm.
person or whatever it is? And you might find a lot of different stuff. Now, there's a few things that kind of popped into my head when I was kind of thinking about this concept, and I've talked about them on this kind of this video place. We do these videos before, Unlocking You 2.0 before,
Yeah.
and this video place. But uh, the ones that come to mind are will tos, no will tos, and despair anchors. Now, a
Mhm.
will to is kind of like, it's like having the willpower to do a specific thing, and oftentimes they're a little bit on the negative side. So, for example, with this having this, not having peace with the past trauma, there might be a will to hold on, like a will to
Mhm.
kind of like hold on to something without letting it go. There might
Yeah.
be a will to avoid pain because you don't want to go there, you don't want to think about that, or you might avoid situations in the future
Mhm.
that are anywhere close resembling to the way you're feeling with that situation, and a will to
Absolutely.
just avoid feelings. How many people out there, I know, I've done this in the past, where I don't even want to feel anything. There might be a no
Mhm.
will to feel feelings energy. You just
Yep.
don't even want to go there. You don't want to
Yep.
feel anything. You just want to tap out. You want to go to the Netflix. You want to go to the YouTube. Some people go to the alcohol or the drugs, right?
Mhm.
They want to avoid these feelings, but that can be a very, very real energy in the body code. It's on the flip side, the no will to energies, no will to let go. It's kind of like the flip side of, will to hold on. They're
Yeah.
just not willing. You're grasping it so tight, and you're just not
Mhm.
willing to let it go. When your body subconscious is like, no way, man, we don't want to get rid of this. But at the same time, once we find it, we can energetically release it once the body's ready to release that, right? But
Exactly.
another big part, and one of the big things we're talking about today is forgiving yourself, right? There actually might be a no will to forgive yourself energy, or
Hmm.
there might be a no will to forgive others energy. Now, it can go either way depending on these events. Like, even if you're someone who's gone through a horrible, like, assault or some sort of maybe like rape or something, right? Even though it was caused by like another person, you still might have an energy that says, I can't forgive myself for allowing this to
Yeah,
happen, right? And
absolutely.
it can be either one. It can go either way, and it could be both. You don't really know. But the cool thing is we can go in there, we can do this muscle testing,
Hmm.
whatever it is, we can find these imbalances and really find out. And you might even have this like, and I also talked about this despair anchor, where it's almost like this negative statement in our head that we program through negative self-talk
Yeah,
through these events, where you might think to yourself, I don't even deserve forgiveness.
yeah,
I'll never be forgiven for what I've done or whatever, right? And there's a lot of there's a lot more stuff where this comes from, but these are the ones
yes.
that kind of really stand out. Now, the cool part about this whole thing, and what Emmanuel was talking about earlier today as well, is, let's say you do this session. You do a session where you're say, how much piece do I have with this? And then you work your way up. Let's say you work it up your way up to like 80, 7 or 70, 80, 90, 100%. Well, then what we do is we wait about a 3 to 4 day period afterwards to kind of let
Hmm.
your body settle into its energetic frequencies and kind of settle and come back to
Yeah.
equilibrium. But then we can look up at old pictures, look at profile pictures. We can look at pull up old memories that
Hmm.
we whatever it is that kind of got us triggered before to think about those different things. And
Yeah.
we need to look at, what is our sting level on a scale of 0 to
Hmm.
10? How much does that stuff sting now? Because before, you were at 5% peace. If you looked at any
Yeah.
kind of picture, you'd probably flip right out. You'd
Yeah.
lose your mind. You'd be like, oh my God, I don't even know who I am anymore
Hmm.
because I'm thinking about this situation. But
Yeah.
once we do this session, you actually have a surefire way to kind of test and see how it feels, to see the
Hmm.
before and after difference. So, and oftentimes, I tell my clients to do this because it's really important, because then you can see the difference, where
Yeah.
it's like, this is where the way I was before, this is the way I am now.
Yeah.
And that's how we can learn to forgive ourselves, let go, and then we're changed. Now we're
Hmm.
changed. The past doesn't, the past is the same. The past is in the past. We're a different
Yeah.
person now. We've let go of the stuff. Now we can go through, and we can go through and make our mark on the world and do what we want to do and live a happy, joyous life. So with
Absolutely.
that, that's all the stuff on the subconscious side. Is there
Hmm.
anything you also have, anything else you'd like to add there, Bally?
I just want to add one thing is, as you talked about all these things that, these triggers or whatever it may be from your past. But what I want you to know is that every time you potentially think about the past or get, triggered by that past, you're actually adding more negative emotions into you. You're making it worse. You're compounding it.
Hmm.
So we really need to let that go in order for you to move forward.
Yeah,
Okay.
can
Spencer
confirm.
and I are here to help you do that.
Yeah.
We want to help you let it go, whatever you need to, so you can move forward. And there's a lot of different ways that we can do that with you and for you. So if you'd like to learn more and you really want to move forward with your life, let go of things, heal from traumas, whether it's a death, a relationship, an accident, anything, betrayal, whatever it may be, we can help you do that, both consciously and subconsciously. And the way you want to connect with us is send a message to either one of us, and we're more than happy to do a complimentary either healing session or mini coaching call, mini session for you. Okay. The other option is to get more information. You can visit a couple of different websites. So the first one is www.leadyourideallife.com. There you'll find some information, be able to watch a couple of videos. In fact, what's really cool is there is a movie trailer that we'd love to share with you, and it's actually not a movie trailer; it's a docu-series trailer. If you'd like to see it, send us a message and we'll share it with you. Because what's really cool is Spencer and I are going to be featured in this docu-series, and we're pretty excited about this. but we're going to be featured in this docu-series, and we'd love to show you the trailer for it. So if you want to see that, send us a message and we'll share that video with you as well. It's just a YouTube link that we can share with you. So with that said, look, let's stop living in the past. Let's move on. You can't change it. Let's become better ourselves and change ourselves and really enjoy whatever time we have left here, right? With that said, thank you so much for tuning in again. We will be back very soon with another video. Until then, take care, stay safe, and be good to yourself.
That's right. See you guys.